Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
I read in your bio that you had left Stanford to start a business of some sort. Can you take us through that decision and how that came about?
Well, I just got restless and, I think feeling the tuition costs and the pressure, I think it's a decision, very honestly, looking back, that I regret now, because all it would have been 2 more years. But I was anxious to start a business, which I did, and it did well, and I ended up selling it. But still, I think I could have done it 2 years later.
But what happened? I mean, you got a business started part-time and...
No, I just left to start a business full-time because I had met someone who had a connection, and I thought, oh, I could fill the need. And so I think it's this word called youth that's very impatient sometimes. I was all of 19. And so, like I said, looking back, I would not have done it if I not at this stage now. But when you're young, you tend to make decisions without looking at, like I say, the future, just for that moment. Here's an opportunity. Let me do it. And granted, the opportunity worked out. But, looking back, I would say that it probably would have worked out 2 years later. I just shouldn't have been so hasty. Patience is not my virtue. I'm still working at it.
So if you look at it, you had gotten into one of the best schools in the country, in the world even, right? So that would be considered book smarts. You started your own business and it's successful. That's considered, I would think, street smarts. Would you say that one is more important than the other?
In business today, you really need to have both. You need to have that gut instinct that tells you to do it, but you need, I think, to not be so risk-oriented. You can also do your homework. I think those are the ones time and again. I mean, you can get lucky, not do your homework and be successful, but I think you'll see that most businesses do well when they have a combination of both.
What were your parents' reaction when you said, I'm gonna leave Stanford and, 9 children? Right? And you're at a good school, and it's like, I'm gonna go start my own business. Were they thrilled?
Knowing myself at that time, I'm not sure that what they thought, would have changed my mind, very honestly. I was very headstrong, and I think that my parents recognized that, and bless them, they've been more patient than I deserve, but I do recall discussions, I wouldn't term it like that, kind of at this decibel. But, when you're young, sometimes you are a little bit too stubborn for your own good. And like I said, I've learned a lot through the years. And I think I'm a far more learned person now for all my experiences and mistakes that I've made through the years.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.